Hello YouTube, it's Atticus, and I have a really cool video for you guys today. This is a Ultra Funds, the large army battle between the High Elves and my Dark Elves. So this one is a really good battle, and right off the bat I was at a disadvantage, and my opponent almost went borderline cheese. And it's legal technically, but he has so much skirmish range, as you're going to see right here. And it's a very hard battle to fight against, but I'm going to show you guys how to deal with a high elf player who does something, I mean, just look at all this range. One, you have Leader and Reavers, archers, we got shadow warriors, we got shadow walkers, just a little bit of everything. So this whole build was meant just to, skirmish you and to systematically take you out. So I'll just go ahead and jump into the build, guys. And yeah, keep in mind this is the ultra, the large funds, or the ultra funds, the large armies. So for my lord, accept no substitute when it comes down to a big, ultra funds army. I brought Malekith, the Lich King, and I brought him on the Witch King. Excuse me, I'm thinking of Arcus or Arca, whatever his name is from Warhammer. So yeah, Malekith, for his Spolata, I brought Blade Wind, Word of Pain, and Soul Stealer, and I just cut everything else. I don't take any of his other abilities, just because I'm going to use the breath attacks for my main damage. I wanted a spell if he gets into melee, which will be Word of Pain, and the Blade Wind for, trying to hit these archers and things like that. So yeah, he's going to be up on this dragon, and I have a way to heal myself, obviously, with the Soul Stealer. You can see here, guys, I also brought myself a assassin, and these guys are really good at nerfing your enemy lord. So when it finally does come into dealing with his lord, I'll throw down trophy heads, and it'll lower his melee attack and his defense, I do believe. For my infantry contingent, I've brought 3 units, a pretty strong line of Hargonet executioners. So I wanted to win against sword masters and things like that. So, and you can see I kind of put them in the back right here. I put these 2 bleak swords to soak any initial bolt throwers or ranged attacks with their shields. You can see I also have a Pharaoh Manticore, which if you guys watched my Dark Elf guide, Monster Guide, you know how much I'm a fan of these guys. They're just really good for, 800, 900 gold. You're getting something that causes terror, 455 weapon strength, and it's just a beast. So it's a heat-seeking missile. So I send it into one of these units right here, and then I just forget. The only thing you have to worry about is just not letting it rampage, till you're ready to actually send them into combat. You can see I also have 2 units of Cold One Knights, supported by, and this is something you don't really see a lot, but I like these units. I call them the can openers, and I think they're really good. But yeah, guys, I brought Cold One Dread Knights, so these guys are going to just be really, really good at pretty much any unit that the High Elves could bring, except for, of course, Phoenix Guard. But yeah, they'll beat Cav. They'll actually destroy any ranged thing. They have high armor, which will do really good against Shadow Walkers and Shadow Warriors and things that don't have a lot of armor piercing. And yeah, guys, and they go, supported by these 2 Cold One Knights, they'll win against any of the Cav contingent that my opponent might have brought. So really heavy, really strong, elite Dark Elf, cavalry contingent here. Over on this side, you can see that I did bring a chariot. I have a Cold One chariot. These guys need no introduction. You know how much I love these guys for their cycle charging, their armor piercing range, and yeah, and you don't have to really micro them either just because they have skirmish. You can see that I did bring 2 units of Dark Riders for Peter crossbows, and one of my favorite units, and they also got a price reduction to 900, the Raven Herald. So yeah, these guys are just a lot of fun to bring. I think it was really cool of CA to bring those guys, to make them as a regiment of renown. For my opponent's build here, we're just jumping into it really briefly. 4 units of Shadow Warriors right here in Vanguard, and yeah, luckily I have my spears here in the front to take the initial volley. 2 Illyrian Reavers, archers. For his infantry contingent, he didn't bring a lot of elite guys. He's trying to really win the skirmish thing. He has spearmen, just all spearmen. He also has 5 Shadow Walkers, and these are the ones that apply poison. Yep. So these are the most elite ones. And you can see, guys, like this would be really annoying to fight against, but luckily I came with all bases covered. He also has a Life Mage, and he has a Lithanar somewhere on this map. Where is the Lith? There he is, right there. So, and he also has a chariot himself. So, all right, let's go ahead and start the matchup. I've blabbed long enough. Let's see how it goes. So yeah, right off the initial volley right here, it's all going to go into these spears, which is really good for me. It's keeping these guys, keeping my Hargonet executions alive. So at this point, I'm just going to rush my army forward. No sense walking, no sense, trying to keep a formation. I just need to get all my units into position. You can see that I'm going to have to pull these guys back because he has these 2 little units right here. And yeah, these guys would just get destroyed if I tried sending them in. So I'm going to have to be more patient and wait for my army. You can see that the chariot is going to start moving forward. My manticore is going to try to get in there. But yeah, he's going to rampage. And it's just, right off the initial engagement, my opponent just has so much range that, I'm just going to have to take the damage. There isn't really anything I can do about it. I'm going to get a breath attack. And it is going to hit these Shadow Walkers. It's going to take him down to almost a quarter health. And a really good Blade Run right here. So yeah, he grouped up and I was able to exploit that and just do a lot of early damage. You can see that all my cavalry is just colliding into his Shadow Walkers. But he does have some spears here. But luckily these guys do cause fear. And yeah, I'm just taking that engagement. And they are going to start to rampage. But I needed to shut down his range. Over here you can see that these 2 Illyrian Reavers have taken out one of my spear units. But look, this whole time, guys, the plans work. It's allowed my Hargoneth Executioners to move up without taking any damage. Over here you can see Malekith is right on the tails of the Mage of Life. And yeah, we're doing a little good damage to her. He does have some spears that he's trying to reinforce, but yeah, I have all this ranged armor piercing right here, providing overwatch. I have a spear unit, and I have my assassin that are also going to be, putting in some damage. And over here, guys, you can see these Cold One Dread Knights are just chewing through these spearmers. Even though they're anti-large and you would think they're going to, win, against Cold One Dread Knights, nope, they can actually hold their own. You actually need like a Phoenix Guard or something like that will be able to beat them. And you can see we're just crushing his, all his infantry. They're just not lasting. Now, he still has all this scary, infantry, or excuse me, range contingents in the back, but yeah, it's okay. If I can just get through his infantry corps, we're going to be able to, chase off the range. And you can see that they're all providing overwatch here, and they're doing a lot of damage. You can see Malekith's been shipped down, but yeah, the whole center pocket now is ours. And now we're just scattering out and we're just starting to chase units. And, most of his elite units have used half of their ammunition already. So it's going to work out for me, guys, especially playing the long haul. You see Malekith has taken a lot of damage, though. He's down to half health. So my opponent's doing really good with Lithanar and, focus firing with all these Shadow Warriors and things like that. But I have this one unit of Cold One Dread Knights that are still at good health. That got high armor and high shields. And, yeah, we're just going to start getting into these, jackpots out here to the juicy targets right here. You see Malekith's just trying to dodge some of these targets, but yeah, I mean, all around right here, we're just starting to chase off some of his units. We're all scattered about. We have some Hargoneth Executioners over here trying to get into these walkers. I got my chariot, and you can see Malekith is going to dive down into this Mage of Life, and we're going to get a really good hit. It's going to rout her, even though she was able to get a regrowth on her. It's if he routs, well, there's nothing he could do to heal the rest of his army. And you can see right here, these chariots are going to start chasing off these Shadow Warriors. And yeah, guys, I mean, this is pretty much what I'm having to do. I'm having to, send all my elite targets just to try to space out his army, just to try to, scatter them and keep them from, becoming like a center pocket, trying to Death Star up. Over here, you can see these Cold One Dread Knights got into these Shadow Walkers, and they absolutely just crushed them. He has this little scary pocket right here, but his ammunition is starting to get low. And you can see over here, the Assassin has just been trading with a Lithanar, and you can see Assassin's Trophies was dropped, lowering his melee attack and his defense. And the Assassin has almost 800 melee or missile damage, especially against an unarmored unit like that. He's going to take a lot of damage. Over on this left flank, guys, it's looking really good for me. You can see these Hargoneth Executioners chasing off these Shadow Warriors over here. He does have this one little pocket of Shadow Warriors, but I was able to terror rout him, guys, and I'm just landing in on him. He did heal up his Mage of Life, but yeah, he has this one little spear unit right here for defense, but yeah, almost a full health unit of Hargoneth Executioners are coming to assist the Witch King. Over here, you can see that I got these Dark Riders of Peter crossbows, and now we're just trying to focus fire Elith. I'm trying to, hit him on his leadership. Even though he has all these range units that are trying to provide overwatch, you can see I got some Cold One Dread Knights and a Chariot hot on their tails. And if we're able to zone these guys out, well, then Lithanar is going to be, really heavily exposed. You can see that he has one little last pocket of infantry is these spearmen, but they're fighting Hargoneth Executioners, and yeah, they're not going to be long for this world. And yeah, Lithanar, guys, he's just systematically getting, just taken out by the damage of the Assassin, the Raven Heralds, and these two Dark Riders of Peter crossbows. And over on this side, we've pretty much just dealt with everything. We got these guys right onto the corner of the map, and yeah, we'll be able to escort them off. Their leadership is starting to break, and you see finally the balance of power is starting to go into my favor. Malekith is down to it's about an eighth of his health. He has taken a lot of damage, but I have a Soul Stealer still, and you can see I am going to try to cast it right there. not yet. That was actually an Earth Blood, but I am going to try to get a Soul Stealer. It's going to be right here. Now he doesn't have a lot of units around around the side of him, so it's not going to do as much damage as it normally would do. But any health that I could get at this point, I'll take. You can see that he has used all his ammunition now on these Shadow Warriors, and pretty much all these guys are out of ammunition, and that's what I was talking about. I'm playing the long game, right off the the initial engagement. He's going to have the advantage with all this range and skirmish, but once you use up all your ammunition, you're going to be screwed. And right here, you're going to see where I'm actually finally going to get that Soul Stealer off. I actually decided to do it in the group when Elithanar was there, and it's going to give Malekith a nice little boost. You can see that my Dark Riders Repeater crossbows are going to go into melee, but yeah, I'm just going to drop Malekith right into the mix. I'm trying to take out this Life Wizard, Life Mage, just because she's been really annoying this whole match. And you can see, like, all throughout the map here, we're just spread out. The Raven Heralds are going to get into these Shadow Walkers, but yeah, once again, they're just out of ammunition. And over here, he has 3-to-1 units right here, but they're fighting against Harganev Executioners, and it's just not going to matter. You can see right here, Malekith has just been trying to dive in. He's chasing a Elithanar. I got a unit of Cold One Dread Knights back from routing, and yeah, it's just working good, guys. He is going to get another Earth Blood. He's trying to do everything he can, but yeah, we have his lore totally exposed right now, and Malekith is just going to destroy the this little elven fairy right here. You can see the assassin is still at pretty high health as well, and yeah, so he has this last little pocket of resistance right here, but even though he has the numbers, I have the elite troops, and it's looking really good. We've dealt with a Lith. We've pretty much escorted all his units off the map. I still have a lot of different units of Harganev Executioners, and now it's just Malekith. The big Malekith is going to come in here, and we just need to deal with this Mage of Life. And if we're able to kill him, his leadership will tank. So Malekith's going to come in. He should land, and it will cause terror and should break all these guys, even though they did pretty good taking out the remains of those Cold One Dread Knights. But yeah, Malekith's going to get into combat right here, throw away, shoot some of his poison breath, and yeah. It's looking really good. You see, he does have this little pocket of units right here, but as I keep saying, guys, it's just archers that don't have, even though they have okay, combat stats, at what is it, 40-27. Yeah, they're just not going to be able to deal high armored, Harganev Executioners. And you can see I have 3 almost full units of health Executioners still alive, even though Malekith is kind of weak. We finally are going to break his last little pocket of leadership right there, and it's going to be a victory for the Druchii, guys. So, really cool matchup. I would almost say that's borderline cheese, but against the Druchii, your cheese didn't work. So, let's go ahead and look at the in-screen breakdown and talk about some of the keys for my success. And, yeah, some of the keys was, I'd say the end game for one, separating his army, trying, if they were all able to ball up and group up, we would have been screwed. But, spreading them out so they can't support each other, and, yeah, we were able to just, then just start picking them off. The Cold One Dread Knights were amazing. So, yeah, guys, this is just, I know a lot of people don't bring them, but hopefully this game will kind of show you what they're good for. And, yeah, they were able to really, just deal with all this ranged Overwatch that he was able to provide. Harganev Executioners, we were able to keep them alive. You can see even after all this range, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, over 10 different units of range. You'd think these Harganev Executioners would have been like target number 1, but we were able to, zone them out with the spears. We were able to apply pressure with my cavalry. The chariot was able to get some charges. The manticore was able to cause some terror. And, yeah, everything just worked really good. And you saw the assassin, guys. He was able to, put so much damage on a Elithanar who has hardly no armor. And that's what the assassin excels at. And Malekith was able to get off some really good spells. We were able to get off some breath weapons. And, yeah, I mean, it was a good battle. I was a little bit worried. I mean, this build is freaking nasty. It's hard to fight against. Especially on these big armies, if you just got, your micro has to be on point, and you have to separate them. You can't let them ball up, and yeah, you got to take the initial damage from the beginning, and then hopefully at the end game when he runs out of ammunition, you still got powerful enough units to deal with it. So, and yeah, so good game to Andre 96Y or whatever. I would almost be mad at you for cheese, but technically I think this build is legal, even though it's a risky one. If you don't get all your damage in the beginning, your little spears aren't going to do anything at the end. So, alright guys, I thought that was a really cool battle. It's really cool seeing the Druchii beat the High Elves, really thematic, and yeah, I hope you guys like those Ultra settings. So, it's Atticus, I'll see you next time, and have a good night. Bye-bye.